Well, I'm actually from Ontario, and so we've been having these discussions for the past few years in Ontario, and I recognize that many of the same issues are apparent in BC. Genetic testing is really beginning to have much more influence in all areas of medicine, and it's still an uncoordinated system in terms of who does what testing when and for what purpose. And so it's really become very apparent to me that across the country, really nationally in Canada, we all have the same issues. We're all grappling with the same problems, and I think we should learn from each other's experiences across the provinces and perhaps not reinvent the wheel. And so I'm very fortunate, I think, to come from a province where we've begun to work through some of the same issues, and I'm very pleased to come to BC and perhaps give some insight into what we've been trying to do, or some of the approaches that we have in Ontario that may actually be quite relevant to the patient population in BC. So I really think that probably the most important thing to do is to engage government and to get commitment from government in terms of being one of the stakeholders at the table, very committed to actually trying to change the system, change the way that genetic testing is perhaps either performed or implemented in the province. And so I would see that, really government needs to play a big role here, be a real player at the table, be just as engaged as everybody else, because we can go through the process, and you can strike a governance structure, for example, begin to have working groups that work together, begin to formulate recommendations and guidelines. But if you don't have somebody to give those recommendations to that can actually implement them, then you're not really going to get too far. So I think my biggest recommendation probably would be to make sure that all the right players are at the table, and begin to move the process forward as quickly as possible, and just have recommendations available, have thought through exactly what the priorities should be, how you want them to work in BC, and then just have that all ready so that when the questions are asked, it's already been thought through.